Hi, this is Linda Fox. I am senior reporter with PhocusWire. I'm here at the World Aviation Festival. I'm at the studio and we are in partnership with Pros, and I am delighted to be here with Inigo Valenzuela, and he is CEO of Smartvel. Thanks for joining us, Inigo.
Hello, it's a pleasure.
So you got your first round of funding relatively recently, I think it's about $1 million, and your specialty is personalized destination content. So do you see yourself having to go out for more funding in the near future?
Yeah, sure. I mean, actually, our cash flow is positive, so we are not in
desperate need.
Desperate need the money, but we are growing internationally. We have to invest in growing different countries, go to trade fairs like this great one, and
that's expensive.
Yes, that's expensive, and if you want to grow in certain regions, you need more money. Yes, that's true. No?
Okay. So, given that we are at the Aviation Festival, what's it like? How much of a challenge is it knocking on doors of airlines to get you to get them to think about their content? Because a lot of them already have destination content, city guides.
Yes. Our approach is different. We think not only about destination content, but about a holistic approach to airlines with what's going on at the destination while your traveler is there. So it's what we call the dynamic destination, sports, musical things.
So more
events,
More
real time, plus the classical travel guides, plus any kind of third-party ancillary. So we put everything together in a unique solution so that the travelers can get to know what to do, get inspired before they travel, or if they just book the flight, get to know what to do in London this week because it's happening a concert, a music, sport event, whatever. No, getting to speak with airlines, it's really tough because first of all they get about 500, 1,000 requests per year.
Exactly.
So I can understand them. No, they have to be very efficient, saying no many times. But the most difficult thing is getting to the right person in the right moment.
Yeah, sure.
It's not only about the right person; it's also about the right moment.
They're receptive to
they have to be receptive.
Yeah.
A friend of mine told me once that to be successful in a consulting sales approach, it has 4 things. 30% is the product. I think it has to be higher, but it was his view. 30%. 30% is the timing of your lead, because they have to have time for you, and it has to be the right time, and that is very difficult to get. 30% is how you do it, and 10% is luck.
So luck is actually quite important. So now you, with your content, you also talk about personalization. How are you personalizing your content, and how in terms of an airline, because they can't really market one-to-one. Some people might be only flying once or twice a year, and that might be with a different airline. So how are you getting that personalization concept across in kind of reality?
Yeah. Well, there are different levels of personalization. If you want to be especially accurate, I think that's not the best idea because you will fail. You will have different hats in different moments. And in some travelers, you will be more like a business traveler.
Sure, and then family.
And in others, you will travel with family, and you will be the same person. So I cannot go with the same value proposal to you every time. No,
Yeah.
that's not the way it is. No? At the same time, when you try to be very specific, you are going to make more mistakes. Because if, for example, I know that you like sports, but perhaps you hate football, but you love basketball.
Yeah.
If I'm pushing just sports, football all the time, I'm not doing the right thing.
No, exactly.
So is it good to be very specific? Perhaps it's not so good. No, our view is that first of all, the customer has to be able to filter whatever they want in 2 clicks, in 1 click. I love football. Track. And I say football. So in that way, you will not do mistake. And the second thing is that in airlines, you can make some kind of pre-filters based on, of course, date of the travel and destination. So I will tell you what's going on London this week with the most relevant events in London, if London is playing or whatever, or it's a football match or anything that's happening, and also the dates, and also being able to understand if it's a business traveler or not, and if it's a family or not. And with that, you can make some kind of clusters, saying, okay, business traveler alone, I'm going to propose those things. But I will not include only high-end things, because people like to do a lot of things.
A range of things,
yes. And if it's with family, I will propose things with families. And that's it.
Sure. So then, we talked about airlines being receptive to to the content guides and more real-time events. Are customers receptive to buying that in the airline ticket purchase funnel?
Well, just after they bought the ticket is not the best moment. You imagine that you are buying your ticket for your holidays, you spend 4 tickets to
Madrid.
Madrid will not be so expensive from London, but just in that moment, perhaps you don't want to spend more money. You just bought the ticket, and you will get inspired, but you will not spend more money in this moment. But there are certain moments within the customer journey where is the right moment to push that content, and that's also very important.
And when is that moment?
That moment is in the pre-departure emails,
right?
Where people 24 hours, 44 hours is the right moment, and also in the app. And when you are landing, certain products like tours and activities are sold mainly
in destination, right? Yeah.
40 hours before you're going to do it, 90% of the bookings are done. So you can think that you are going to book a lot of tours and activities in advance, but that's not true. You will not do it 3 months in advance, just for a few of them. But most of them are booked at destination. So you have to have a tool to propose that kind of content at destination.
So does the fact that the airlines are talking about personalization, but also talking about retailing and ancillaries, does that help a company like Smartvel?
Yes, a lot. I think we are in the right wave regarding experiences, personalization, added value, engagement, etc., etc., etc. What we've seen in our customers and also in the leads that we are having is that our value proposal is like music, is what they are looking for. Other thing is that it has to be the right moment, in the right time, and with the right budget, etc., etc. But definitely, it's not only because the travelers have changed; it's because the industry has changed with Airbnb and others playing a much more local value proposal. And airlines definitely are not like they were 10, 20 years ago, focusing only on their moments of truth. Now they want to be throughout the customer journey, in the inspirational phase, in the pre-trip phase, at destination, adding value and being more relevant for the customers. And being relevant is not only about the frequent flyer, it's about really pushing relevant content to them.
So in the same way that you kind of research where to place the content or the offer in the purchase funnel, say with the email or the app, are you also researching the kind of customer expectation around this real-time content?
Well, with real-time content, we have to be also a little bit careful. Some customers, we work with airlines, around 50% of our turnover is airlines, but we do also work with trains and with cities. And we found, even with cities, that they may be much more demanding in terms of what kind of content they want, that finally they don't want to have everything, because everything is not very good for this kind of solutions, because you will get overwhelmed. You want to have a lot of content, because if you split the content in days, you need a lot of content. If you split it geographically, you need a lot of content, but having everything perhaps is not the best solution. No? So I don't know what else to say about that.
That's okay. So then data, I mean, you must be gathering quite a lot of data from your customers, and I know EasyJet CEO yesterday was talking about how much they are now trying to make a lot of use out of their data for various things, disruption mainly and scheduling. But do airlines then want you and expect you to share your data so that they get a fuller picture of their customer?
Very, very good question. One of the latest needs that we found and that we developed is integrating the log of what the customer is looking for, what they like to book, what kind of queries are they doing, with which concept, what kind of restaurants, etc., to enhance the CRM database that our customer has got. Our latest integration was with a customer with Salesforce, so we push back as long as they give us the frequent flyer number or any ID of this customer, being fully respectful with the GDPR rules, of course, all the behavior of this customer to this number through a very easy integration, and that is something that they really like, because allows them to know better the customers with the real behavior regarding what they're looking for. No?
So what would you say your sort of top 3 ambitions are for this year?
Very good question. Definitely, we have to grow in the US. It's something that it's a must, and that's why perhaps we will have to raise some money to increase resources there. This is one of my wish list. My other wish list will be to keep gaining momentum with the airlines. I think that's
Kind
great.
of key.
It's a key segment for us. We see a real fit in our value proposal, and really, as we are a global company, we have customers worldwide in Asia, in Europe, in Latin America. We found that we can sell everywhere with a relatively small team. No? So this is something that it's very nice. No? But to grow in the US is one of the key things. Another thing will be also to grow in the Middle East, where we think it's still a must for us. No? They're great airlines that we have to work with them.
Brilliant. Inigo, thank you very much for joining us.
It's been a real pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your time.